Okay, hello everyone. Ang lecture natin ngayon tungkol sa IO psychology. I want to discuss something about unemployment. Yan. So ang title natin, Why Unemployment is Not Good for Mental Health. Before I dig deeper into this, basa muna tayo ng mga biblical passages related to this topic. Unahin natin yung Genesis 2:15. The Lord God took the man and put him in the Garden of Eden to work it and keep it. And then from there, talon tayo sa New Testament according to St. Paul. For even when we were with you, we gave you this rule. Ano raw yung rule? The one who is unwilling to work shall not eat. And then from the New Testament, talon ka ulit sa Old Testament, from the book of Psalms. They will still bear fruit in old age. They will still stay fresh and green. So itong mga passages na to na binasa ko, lahat yan related sa topic natin on unemployment in connection to mental health. Now, for those of you who miss out some of my lectures, itong IO psychology is a branch in psychology where we talk about work. Kaya yung word dito na hinighlight ko is the word work. Yan ang pinaka-highlight ng branch of psychology na yan. Halos lahat ng psych program merong offering. Ito yung subject, Industrial Organizational Psychology or IO Psychology for short, wherein ang pinaka-focus niyan, we talk about what happens to the psyche whenever it is at work. Anong nangyayari sa psyche ng tao, thinking, emotions, and actions habang nagtatrabaho yung psyche. Yan. Kaya yan yung definition natin ng IO psychology. We talk about different psychological principles na pwede nating gamitin para gumanda ang efficiency ng psyche habang nagtatrabaho. So you can just watch my other lectures on IO psychology in my YouTube channel. Meron naman tong playlist, no? So hanapin nyo na lang. But in this lecture, in connection to this, dahil ang focus ng IO psychology is on work, very related dyan yung unemployment. Diba? Kasi maraming hindi nakaka-realize na yung unemployment may mga psychological implications pala yan. So this lecture aims na ipakita sa inyo kung ano yung mga implications when a person experiences unemployment. And this is based on this meta-analysis that I highly recommend basahin ninyo on your own. Google Scholar nyo, libre naman to, download and then read. Title, Unemployment Impairs Mental Health. A meta-analysis. Now, this lecture is not designed to dig deeper into this meta-analysis, no? I will just talk about this in general. So, hindi to masyadong focus in this article, no? Gagawa na lang natin ng ibang lecture yan. But basically, kapag binasa mo tong meta-analysis na to, combination of studies, ang pinaka-conclusion na sinasabi ng mga IO psychologists is unemployment is not good for mental health. May mga masamang bagay na nangyayari sa psyche ng tao, sa mental health ng tao, kapag nasisense niya na wala siyang trabaho. To be more specific, let me read an excerpt coming from this article. Ang sabi, i-zoom natin, the average overall effect size was 0.51 because this study is a meta-analysis. So, connected yan dito sa 0.51. Ibig sabihin, ang sa simpleng Tagalog, no, talagang may epekto sa mental health ng tao yung pagkawala ng trabaho. Okay? So, yan lang yung ibig sabihin ng 0.51. With unemployed persons showing more distress than employed persons. A significant difference was found for several indicator variables of mental health. Tulad ng ayan, mixed symptoms of distress, depression, anxiety, psychosomatic symptoms, subjective well-being, and self-esteem. So, yung mga taong unemployed, walang trabaho, ganyan ang mga nangyayari sa kanila. Mataas ang distress, mataas ang depression, mababa ang subjective well-being, pati na rin yung self-esteem. All are indicators of poor mental health. Let me continue. Ang sabi pa sa article, the average number of persons with psychological problems among the unemployed, yung mga walang trabaho, was 34%. Para naman sa mga may trabaho, mas mababa, 16% lang. So, i-combine mo yung dalawang purple boxes na yan, they support the idea that indeed, unemployment is not good for mental health. Makakabuo na kayo ng framework. Ito yung truth claim ng article na to. Na kapag ang tao may experience siya ng unemployment, it directly contributes to poor mental health. Kaya kapag ang isang tao poor ang mental health, pwede mong i-predict na kaya ganyan yan kasi unemployed yan. Linawin lang natin, no, bago natin ituloy, anong ibig sabihin ng unemployment. According to the slide, capable ka na magtrabaho but for some reason, wala kang opportunity na magtrabaho. Or pwede rin naman na dati kang may trabaho, for some reason, siguro nagkaroon ng COVID, na layoff ka, or siguro pinatalsik ka sa trabaho kasi meron kang kalokohang ginawa, no? Again, for whatever reason, dati kang may trabaho, ngayon wala ka ng trabaho, pasok ka sa unemployment. Okay? Yun yung ibig sabihin ng change in status. But whatever the reason, ang point lang dito, basta ang tao, basta ang psyche, naramdaman niyang unemployed siya, in support of this study, anong nangyayari? It contributes to poor mental health. Kaya hindi maganda na ang isang psyche maka-experience ng unemployment. Ang tanong, bakit? Anong meron sa unemployment that it explains bakit nagiging poor ang mental health ng tao? Basically, we start with this principle to answer that question. Kasi, working is a natural part of the psyche. Natural na tendency or naka-wired tayo. Yung psyche natin is wired for work. Natural process. Natural sa atin na gusto natin lagi tayong may trabaho. I want to emphasize on the word wired. Ibig sabihin, default setting natin yan. Hindi pwedeng hindi ganyan. Pinanganak ka pa lang, yung psyche mo is already designed for work. Ang tanong, bakit? Sino ang nag-wire sa atin na magtrabaho? Well, ang nag-wire sa atin, yung creator ng psyche, who is God Himself. Genesis 1:1 pa lang, already describes the nature of God as a working God. Kasi 'di ba yung word na created, under yan ng word na work. Maraming klase ng work, isa sa klase ng work is creating. So the very first sentence in the Bible, Genesis 1:1, shows to us that God is a working God. Mahilig siyang magtrabaho. Nature niya magtrabaho. Again, Genesis 1:1. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Dito pa lang ang Diyos, meron nang ginagawa. Pinapakita na niya kaagad yung pagka-working God niya. That's the starting point. O ngayon, fast forward, because God is a working God, fast forward, gumawa siya ng tao in His own image. At paulit-ulit ko ito sinasabi in my lectures, what does it mean to be created in the image of God? It means na mana natin spiritually yung mga tendencies, yung ibang mga qualities that God also has. And that includes His being workaholic, quote-unquote workaholic. So God is a working God, He loves to work, and then He created us in His own image, which means naman na natin sa Kanya yon. Na tayo, ginawa tayo, yung psyche natin, ginawa tayo para magtrabaho. We inherited that spiritually, yung quality ng Diyos na yon na magtrabaho. Kaya, fast forward, you go to Genesis 2:15, one of our opening passages. Yan yung unang beses na pinagana ng Diyos yung tendency ng psyche na magtrabaho. Then God took the man and put him in what? The Garden of Eden to work it and keep it. Ito yung unang point in history that a human being realized, pinalabas niya, pinagana niya yung tendency niya to work. Again, ulitin ko, bakit tendency natin yan? Because we were created that way by a God who loves to work. We spiritually inherited that tendency. Kaya kung pag-uusapan din natin yung emotions, pwede mo i-connect to. Bakit ang tao, by nature, we are bored? Hindi mo kinakailangan turuan ng tao na mabore. Nature natin yan na tayo nabobore. Tuwing kailan nangyayari ang boredom, kapag nasa-sense ang psyche natin na wala tayong ginagawa. Because we are not designed not to do anything. Kaya yung emotion na boredom na yan, ito yung nagpupush sa atin to look for something to do. Kumbaga parang negative reinforcement yan. Diba? Pag naiinip ka, how do you deal with boredom? Hahanap ka ng isang bagay na magagawa mo para mawala yung boredom mo. In fact, from emotion, punta ka rin sa physical, even our body agrees with the idea that God created us for work. Kahit yung mga ortho lahat sila mag-agree na kapag tinignan mo yung human skeletal system, there's one conclusion na pwede mong mabuo, yung katawan natin, ginawa talaga siya for work. kung sino man ang nag-design ng human body, ang purpose niya, kaya niya dinisenyo yung katawan that way. Bakit ang dami-dami nating joints? Because we are created for movement. And that movement, yung mga joints na yan, will enable us to work. Alright? So tugma yan, no? Yung physical natin, yung emotion natin, all support the idea that God created us for work. Natural wiring natin yan na magtrabaho. Now, for those of you who would say, yung idea na yan, very Old Testament, hindi na applicable ngayon yan, kahit sa New Testament, St. Paul reinforced the idea that we are meant for work. We are designed for work. Kaya nga sabi niya, for even when we were with you, we gave you this rule. What's the rule? The one who is unwilling to work shall not eat. The thing is, everyone should eat. Therefore, everyone should work. You get the logic? Kaya sinabi ni St. Paul yan, para ma-reinforce yung Old Testament idea na ang tao talaga, designed by God, para magtrabaho. Wiring natin ang magtrabaho. Now, from there, we can form this simple psychological principle. Work is a psychological need. Yan yung lesson na pwede nating matutunan so far, no? Na ang trabaho, it is a need. Hindi pwedeng wala. Hindi siya optional. May masamang bagay na mangyayari sa atin kapag hindi natin nasasatisfy yung need for work natin. Ang tanong, bakit? Now, let's dig deeper. Let's become more psychological here, no? Kasi, pag-usapan na natin, why unemployment impairs mental health. Ang sabi ng article, if you read this, kapag ang tao kasi nawalan ng trabaho or walang trabaho, it creates psychological deficiency. Sa Tagalog, merong pagkukulang. Marami tayong mga bagay, marami tayong mga psychological needs na hindi natin nakukuha kapag wala tayong trabaho. Now, to be more specific, this is one of the models that support that idea. Kasi raw, kapag ang tao may trabaho, as you can see on the slide, ano nangyayari? It enables us to satisfy the different hierarchy of needs according to Maslow. Diba sabi ni Maslow, the more na meron kang mga needs na to, mas maganda mental health. Guess what? Paano mo makukuha yung mga bagay na yan na nasa pyramid niya? Kapag may trabaho ka. So, nagtatrabaho ka, nakukuha mo yung mga nasa pyramid, ang ending, maganda ang mental health mo. E di baliktarin mo, kung wala kang trabaho, ano mangyayari? Hindi mo makukuha yung mga needs sa hierarchy. Kasi wala kang trabaho, so wala kang makain. Insecure ka, wala kang safety needs. Kulang ka sa connection with people kasi tambay ka lang ng tambay sa bahay. Wala kang kinakausap, wala kang pinagsisilbihan, so on and so forth, no? Wala kang nakukuha dito, therefore, it negatively affects your psyche. Ito nga yung mga kailangan ng psyche mo wala nga. Hindi mo nga makuha yan kasi nga wala kang trabaho, therefore, no work leads to poor mental health. Another model to explain why unemployment is not good for mental health, basahin nyo tong article na to. Very good article to read, pero ang focus dito, itong meaning in life. For those of you familiar with this variable, very, busy area of research, meaning in life. Studies show na ang mga tao na nakakasense ng meaning in life, feeling nila meron silang silbi, meron silang purpose sa buhay, sila yung mga magaganda ang mental health. It contributes big time to subjective well-being. Which, by the way, in history, yung variable na yan, meaning in life, unang pinasikat yan ni Viktor Frankl when he wrote the book, Man's Search for Meaning. Yan yung conclusion niya sa libro na yan na ang tao, kapag meron siyang meaning in life, tumataas yung motivation niya na mabuhay. Pero pag tanggalin mo yung meaning in life, for some reason, nawalan siya ng pag-asa, nawalan siya ng reason na mabuhay, iniwan siya ng jowa niya, o namatay yung pamilya niya, nawawalan sila ng willingness to live. Many people become suicidal kapag na-sense nila nawala ng meaning yung buhay nila. That's why in psychology, especially in clinical psych/positive psychology, very important variable yung meaning in life. Pag mataas yan, maganda ang mental health. Pag mababa yan, palpak ang mental health. Nagigets nyo? Ngayon, going back, i-connect ngayon natin to sa work. Bakit ang work nakaka-contribute sa magandang mental health? Kasi kapag ang tao may trabaho, nafe-feel niya na meron siyang purpose, meron siyang meaning in life. Nasisensya na meron pala siyang silbi, meron pala siyang pakinabang, and that's good. When a person feels that way, he or she feels useful, nakakatulong siya sa ibang tao, nababawasan niya yung problema ng ibang tao, napapagaling niya yung sakit ng mga ibang tao, gumaganda yung buhay ng mga ibang tao dahil sa kanya kasi nagpapautang siya. Ano nangyayari? Kapag na-sense niya yon, gumaganda yung mental health niya. O edi connect mo yan sa unemployment, baliktarin mo yan, kapag wala kang work, feeling mo wala kang silbi. Wala kang kwenta. Kasi wala kang ginagawa eh. Wala kang positive contribution sa buhay ng mga tao sa paligid mo. In fact, pabigat ka pa dahil wala kang trabaho, pinapakain ka pa, binibigyan ka pa ng allowance. Nagigets nyo? And when the person senses that, feeling niya wala siyang kwenta, wala siyang silbi, according to studies, yun yung nagpapapalya sa mental health. It's not good for us na masense natin na wala tayong kwenta. Kaya nga sa Tagalog, di ba, kapag may sinabihan kang wala kang kwenta, o anong epekto nun sa sinabihan mo, bababa yung well-being niya. Kasi nga, that's one of the worst feelings a person can feel about him or herself. Yung ma-feel niya na wala siyang silbi, wala siyang kwenta sa buhay. And that's exactly what happens kapag ang tao walang trabaho. In fact, pwede mo nga rin to i-connect sa love life eh. Bakit karamihan ng tao na naka-experience ng breakup, right after the breakup, most of them, lagpak ang mental health. Kasi nawalan sila ng purpose. For so long, ang purpose nila, mahalin yung ex nila. 'Di ba? Mahalin for life, mahalin forever. Eh wala na nga. Sumama nga sa best friend niya. Iniwan siya. Niloko siya. Anong epekto nun sa psyche? Yung psyche, nawala yung sense of purpose niya. At nung nawala yung sense of purpose niya, doon lumagpak yung mental health niya. Kaya nakakasulat siya ng ganyang song. 'Di ba? If you read the lyrics of this song, 'di ba? It perfectly fits this framework eh. Nawalan ka ng jowa, feeling mo wala ka ng purpose. You know, sabi dito, tell me how am I supposed to live without you? Now that I've been loving you so long. Yan yung ano niya eh. Yan yung silbi niya dati. Love.x. How am I supposed to live without you? Eh, umalis na. Niloko siya. Sumama sa iba. How am I supposed to carry on? Ibig sabihin, bumagsak yung motivation. Nawalan kasi ng purpose. Now that all I've been living for is gone. Kaya itong taong to, kapag ito yung kanta niya, at talagang feel niya tong kantang to, hindi maganda ang mental health niyan. Bakit siya naging ganyan? Kasi nga nawalan siya ng purpose. And that's exactly what happens. Kapag ang isang tao walang trabaho or nawalan ng trabaho, that explains why it leads to poor mental health. Alright? So yun yung explanation how unemployment impairs mental health. Now, I want to a little bit expand the topic of this lecture. Gusto kong i-present yung problema in our society today, how popular culture promotes poor mental health in connection to unemployment. Marami mga tao hindi nare-realize na yung society natin, kino-condition ang maraming mga tao na magkaroon ng poor mental health. How? In connection to unemployment. And how does the society do that? Our society, many times, is demonizing the word work. Papansin nyo yon? Ang pangit-pangit ng framing ng society sa idea ng work. Usually, when you hear the word work, negative words come into mind. Diba? When you say work, pagod, stress, prison, responsibility, bills, so on and so forth. You get what I mean? So, yung society natin, ganun ang packaging when it comes to work. So many people, ano ngayon ang epekto sa kanila? When they hear the word work, they feel bad, so they run away from work. Some examples of this negative packaging of work, ayan. These pictures are sending the wrong message to people that work is a curse. Dahil ang work, sumpayan, ano sasabihin ng society sa'yo, kailangan gumawa ka ng paraan as early as possible kung kailan ka hihinto magtrabaho. Nakarinig na kayo ng ganyang message? Habang bata ka pa, ito yung mga gawin mo para hindi ka forever mag-work. Para kahit 30 ka pa lang, pwede ka nang hindi magtrabaho. So sumusulat ng mga ganyang libro, retire early. O, yung isa pang concept na nagre-reinforce ng work is a curse is yung konsepto ng passive income. Don't get me wrong, no? I have nothing against passive income, pero ang mali dito is when you reinforce the idea that work is bad. Kaya ang presentation dito, gumawa ka ng mga paraan, gumawa ka ng passive income para kahit hindi ka magtrabaho, kasi nga, work is a curse. The more na ginagawa mo yan, kawawa ka naman. Gawa ka ng paraan para hindi ka magtatrabaho pero meron ka pa ring nakukuha. Yun yung passive income. But still the same message. Retire early, passive income, all are concepts. These two are concepts na nagsasabi that it seems like work is a curse. Diba? Yung mga concepts na yan, these concepts move people away from doing work. Tapos yung iba pang tao na ganyan yung paniniwala about work, gagamit pa yan ng biblical passage to support the idea that work is a curse. Gagamitin pa yung Genesis 3:19. Sasabihin pa, diba sa Bible, kaya nga tayo nagka-work, kaya nga tayo nag-work in the first place, kasi parusa sa atin ng Diyos when man disobeyed God. After the fall of man, doon tayo nagkaroon ng work. Tapos babasahin pa to, by the sweat of your brow, you will eat your bread until you return to the ground. Because of it, you were taken, for thus you are, and to thus you shall return. Pinapalabas nila that because of this passage, it proves that work is a curse, that work is God's punishment for us. Kaya nga may X dito, mali yung ganong interpretation. Because if you read the passage, ang highlight dito, it's not the work. Ang highlight dito is merong bagong mangyayari sa psychological system ng tao. Psychological/physical system ng tao, and that is what? The experience of death. Because when God created human beings, we were meant to live forever. Eternal yung buhay natin. But human beings disobeyed God, so ang spiritual consequence noon, one day, we will die. This is the first time that death entered our system. Yun ang highlight dito, yung second part. Because of it, you were taken, for thus you are, and to thus you shall return. Pero yung first statement, by the sweat of your brow, you will eat your bread, hindi sinasabi ng Bible na dahil nagkasala ang tao, ang punishment mo, magtatrabaho ka. No. Because remember, work is part of the perfect world even before the fall of man. Bago ang tao nagkasala sa Diyos, bago ang tao na-experience ang effect of sin, work is a part of the perfect world. Genesis 2:15 pa lang. Meron ng work binigay ang Diyos sa tao. This is before sin, before the fall of man. The Lord God took the man and put him in the Garden of Eden to work it and keep it. So anong logic dyan? Ibig sabihin, ang work hindi siya parusa. Kasi dati pa, perfect pa yung mundo, even before the fall of man, meron ng work. Nagigets nyo? So again, ulitin ko, these concepts are sending the wrong message that work is a curse. That we should do everything we can to run away from work. Nakikita niyo yung contrast? Di ba kakasabi ko pa lang kanina, work is part of our psychological system. Balik tayo doon. Asan yun? Yan natural part natin yan. We are wired for work. Tapos may mga tao maniniwala work is a curse. Ano magiging epekto niyan? They will run away from the thing that they are wired to do. Kaya marami mga tao mas gusto walang trabaho even or in spite the fact that we are meant for work. Nagigets nyo? Marami mga tao ayaw magtrabaho kahit sa totoo lang dapat silang magtrabaho. Anong epekto nun? Pangit yon sa mental health. Tapos i-reinforce pa ng mga popular songs like this. Magkakaroon pa ng the lazy song. Today, I don't feel like doing anything. I just want to lay in my bed, don't feel like picking up my phone, so leave me a message at the tone, because today, I swear, I'm not doing anything. Again, just a reminder, we are not designed to live a lifestyle like this. Hindi tayo ginawa ng Diyos not to do anything. Diba? Kasi nga, katawan pa lang, asan yun? Balik tayo. Katawan pa lang, ito yun emotion pa lang, mga ebidensya yan na talaga ang existence natin. One of the essence is we are designed for work. Kaya itong mensahe ng kantang to, it's counter to our nature. Kaya kapag in-internalize mo yung kanta na yan, ginawa mong lifestyle, hindi talaga maganda yan sa mental health. Siyempre, may mga pilosopo dyan sasabihin, ang sabi naman dito today, hindi naman sinabing for the rest of my life, I don't feel like doing anything. Okay, fine. Okay? Kung ganun talaga yung interpretation mo, today lang yan, siguro gusto mo lang magpahinga, okay lang yan. Pero songs like this, there's always a tendency that it becomes a lifestyle. Isa yan sa psychology of music principle. Kahit na yung song, tungkol lang yon in a particular moment in time, the psyche tends to generalize the principle in those songs. Diba? Na-generalize niya yung song to be a personal anthem, tapos yung application niya magiging lifestyle na niya. So yun yung danger dito. Although we understand, ang sabi dito today, pero pag ang mga bata masyadong na-internalize to, yung today na yan pwede maging lifestyle. Naging lazy na siya for the rest of his or her life, which is hindi maganda given our nature for work. Nagigets ninyo? So to close this lecture, in connection to this, meron lang akong 3 applications in connection to our topic on unemployment. So ano yung mga pwede natin gawin para gumanda yung mental health natin? Number 1, palitan nyo yung definition nyo of work. In fact, this is one of the reasons kung bakit may mga tao moving away from work kasi iba yung pagkakaintindi nila sa salita na work. Just a gentle reminder, work is not equals to employed. Hindi mo kinakailangan na employed ka para masabi mong meron kang work. Kaya nga sabi ko dito, no, you don't have to be employed for you to have work. As long as meron kang goal, alam mo yung mga steps na gagawin mo para mangyari yung goal na yon, tapos in-execute mo yung mga steps na yon para mangyari yung goal na yon, work na yon. It's just that yung employed kasi, ganun din yun meron kang goal, steps, and execution, pero sumusweldo ka. May legal contract ka. Pumirma ka ng job contract. But work is not limited to being employed. So kahit hindi ka employed, pwede ka pa rin magkaroon ng work. So given that definition, yung nakikita nyo dito from numbers 1 to 10, lahat yan are different forms of work. Hindi mo kailangan maging employed para magtrabaho ka. Yan. Kaya sabi ko dito, hindi kailangan sumusweldo ka. Kahit hindi employed, dapat may work. Nagigets nyo? So it's psychologically healthy, everyday pagising mo, hahanap ka ng work na gagawin mo. Dahil we are wired for work. The more you are doing different things, mas maganda yon sa mental health mo. Nagigets nyo? Kaya mag-side comment lang ako, no? Ayoko yung term na working student Diba? Hindi tama yung term na working student, brother. Ang tamang term is employed student. Kasi kahit student ka, being a student itself, it's a form of work. Pag estudyante ka, anong work mo? Magbasa ng libro, magbasa ng journal article, makinig sa teacher, mag-review sa quiz, ipasa yung quiz, magpasa ng project. Diba, mga work yon, not necessarily employed, but it's a form of work. So if this is what you mean, working student, kung ang ibig sabihin mo mga estudyante na nagwo-work as a student at the same time employed, ang tamang term is employed student. Palitan natin yung vocabulary natin dyan. Ang tamang term is employed student. But again, bottom line, application number 1, kung gusto mong gumanda ang mental health mo, hindi pwedeng wala kang ginagawa. And one way to do that is to change the way you define work. Hindi porket hindi ka employed, ibig sabihin hindi ka na mag-work. Diba? Kasi everyday, pwede mong gawin yung mga yan para magkaroon ka ng work. Number 2, always find something constructive to do. So, maraming work kahit hindi ka employed, pero hindi naman lahat ng bagay na ginagawa automatic constructive. Merong mga bagay na kapag ginagawa mo as work, hindi rin naman maganda. Diba? Halimbawa, nagbebenta ka ng drugs. Although it's a form of work, meron ka ring goal doon, may steps ka doon, pero hindi magandang work yon. Hindi siya constructive. Nagigets nyo? So, kung gusto nyo gumanda yung mental health ninyo, always find something constructive to do. Dapat yung work na ginagawa nyo is constructive. Ang tanong, anong ibig sabihin ng constructive? May dalawang klase ng constructive works. Number 1, godly works. Ito yung mga bagay na dapat ginagawa ng spiritual beings. Tulad nino, tulad natin. 'Di ba? Paulit-ulit 'yan sa channel na 'to. Lahat tayo spiritual beings. Therefore, as being a spiritual being, dapat meron tayong godly works. We are designed by God to do godly works tulad ng sumusunod, worshiping, praying, reading God's Word. Mga godly works yan. So kung gusto mong gumanda ang mental health mo, kahit hindi ka pa employed, ito yung mga works na dapat araw-araw mong ginagawa. And we don't stop there. After we have godly works, dapat meron din tayong neighborly works. Ito naman yung mga works na may kinalaman sa ibang tao. Sino yung mga bagay na sino yung mga taong pwede mong tulungan ngayon? Who can you help now? Form of work din yan. So every day of our life, kahit hindi ka pa employed, ito yung dalawang klase ng works na dapat araw-araw ginagawa mo. Never dapat lilipas ang Monday. Never dapat lilipas ang Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday na hindi ka gumagawa ng at least isa under each one of this. Kada araw, at least isa, meron kang godly work. At least isa, meron kang neighborly works. Kaya in connection to letters A and B, naalala ko yung first and second greatest commandment. Bakit ba ginawang greatest commandments yan? Kasi yung dalawang commandments na yan, it's in accordance to our nature. In the first place, yan talaga ang purpose ng tao. To do works for God and to do works for others. Kaya yan yung sagot ni Kristo when He was asked, ano yung first and second greatest commandment? Ano yung first? Love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your strength. Yan yung godly works. And then, yung second, love your neighbor as yourself, yun yung neighborly works. Nanggigets nyo? So, dapat hindi lilipas ang isang araw na hindi kayo gagawa ng at least isang letter A at isang letter B. Kaya kung i-connect mo to, the way Jesus lived His life, why was He so productive? Bakit ang ganda-ganda ng well-being ni Jesus when He was here on earth? Kasi yung oras niya, kung babasahin nyo yung Gospels, talagang umikot lang dito sa dalawang to. He served God, He served other people. Got that? So, ganun din, no? In your personal life, dapat araw-araw meron kayong dalawang klaseng works na maiispatan during the day. 'Di ba? Ano yung mga works for God that you are doing? Ano yung mga works for others that you did on that particular day? Mas marami kang nalalagay dito every day, mas gumaganda ang mental health. And last one, number 3, you should change the way you define retirement. Kanina yung word na pinag-usapan, work. Ngayon, pag-usapan natin yung word na retirement. Kasi sa society natin ngayon, iba na naman yung pananaw on retirement. Connected yan sa retiring early. 'Di ba? Ano ang tamang definition ng retirement? Ito ang tamang definition. Phase in your life that you will work on something else. Naka-highlight in yellow yung important words. Work on something else after your formal employment. Kasi ang maling definition ng retirement na pinopromote ng society natin, retirement means like this. Wala ka nang ginagawa. Chill ka na lang. Sitting pretty ka na lang. Studies show in DevPsych, specifically under old age, hindi maganda yan. Bumibilis ang pagkamatay ng mga matatanda after retirement kapag binigla nila yung mga sarili nila na wala na silang ginagawa everyday. Now, don't get me wrong, hindi ko sinasabing masama ang magbakasyon, masama ang mag-chill after you retire. Pero dapat hindi siya lifestyle for the rest of your life. After you retire, wala ka nang ginagawa at all. Kaya nga, going back to the correct definition of retirement, ano lang nangyayari sa retirement? Hindi ka na lang employed. Tapos na yung kontrata mo sa trabaho. 'Di ba? Pero hindi ibig sabihin nun, hihinto ka na sa different works na gagawin mo. Kaya marami mga tao, no? In some societies, even after they retire, naghahanap pa rin sila ng mga bagay na pwede nilang gawin. Yung iba sa kanila, after they retire, hahanap pa sila ng isa pang employment. And in some of those societies, binibigyan ng opportunity yung mga old people to be employed, such as, if I'm not mistaken, this is from Chile. Starbucks Chile yata ito In that country, old people are employed. Pwede pa sila magtrabaho sa mga coffee shops. Yan yung tama. Yan yung maganda. Yan ang tamang definition ng retirement. 'Di ba? Hindi ka na lang employed, pero hahanap ka ng mga work na pwede mo pang gawin. Or tapos na yung kontrata mo sa employment mo, hahanap ka ng bagong employment and continue to become productive. 'Di ba? Kaya nga, yun yung kino-confirm, yun yung nare-reinforce ng last passage natin. They will still bear fruit in old age. they will still stay fresh and green. Ang principle dito, kahit pala matanda ka na, dahil sa nature mo ang magtrabaho, maganda na kahit matanda ka na, even after you retire, may trabaho ka pa rin. Ano raw epekto psychologically? Kapag kahit retire ka na, nagtrabaho ka pa rin, you will bear fruit, you will stay fresh, you will still stay green. I-connect mo yan sa neuropsychology. Kaya pala yung mga tao, yung mga matatanda na active pa rin yung lifestyle. Meron pa rin silang work na ginagawa. Ano ang nag-stay fresh sa kanila? Ano yung nag-i-stay green sa kanila? Yung nerve cells ng mga utak nila. The neurons are still very active. Pinapababa ng ganong lifestyle yung chance that they will develop Alzheimer's disease. Kasi kahit matanda na sila, they never stop working. Diba? The fact na totoo yung principle na yon, again, it reinforces the idea that God designed us to work for the rest of our lives. And work is not bad. Nagigets nyo? Ano ang bad? Being unemployed. Oh. So this is where everything goes together. Bakit maganda na may work? Pinaliwanag ko na yan. At bakit hindi maganda ang unemployed? Bakit kapag ang tao unemployed, pumapalya ang mental health? Because again, we were created in the image of God, the God who loves to work. God designed us for work. Nagigets nyo? Kaya, given that, hindi maganda na ang tao unemployed. Okay? Kasi it's very contrary to our design to be working spiritual beings. Kaya ang mga tao na unemployed, sana makahanap talaga ng trabaho. Or yung mga taong tamad, ayaw lagi ng work, sana ma-realize niyo through this lecture na hindi maganda yung ganyang attitude. Dapat lagi tayo naghahanap ng work na pwede natin gawin, connected to God, and improving the lives of other people. Yan ang mentally healthy na gawin. Okay. So if you have any questions or comments, ilagay nyo lang dyan sa comment section. Again, I will place this lecture under IO Psychology. Alright, Sir Howard here. Until the next lecture, God bless everyone. Bye-bye.